Hello and welcome to this month's RC Racing TV. In this episode, we're back in Slovakia, one of our all-time favourite RC racing destinations, the Huddy Arena in Trenčín. And just like last year, we're covering the 1/12 LMP Superfast Wizzy cars and their F3 European Championships. Also, don't just build your own Hummer, but drive it too. All that and more to come from D'Agostini Model Space. But now, over to John Hindhaugh.
Our X-Ray, Zen Racing and Montec sponsored coverage of the 1/12 F3 European Championship starts here with the first of potentially three finals. And it's three X-Rays in the top four for Hagberg, Jeffries and Stadler, with Marcus Morbers, the CRC, in third position. Levanen in fifth position. Then it's Vogel, Honigel, Stiles, Sieber and Alexander Andersson of Sweden makes up the 10. Don't get confused, that is Alex Hagberg on pole for Sweden with the white body rather than his usual green. Let's get used to that here as we're off and running in the first of three finals. Usual script, it's the best two scores from three of the finals which count towards your final position in the tournament, in the championship. And Hagberg has got Ollie Jeffrey sticking to him very closely indeed. Very technical circuit here, as you can see, all about rhythm. Plenty of grip on this carpet laid especially for the occasion. And Jeffrey's just making a slight mistake there. And that is Marcus Morbers on the CRC in third position. And that's where the battle is, second and third at the moment. Note as well that their side walls are very hard. No curbs, it's very unforgiving. Think of this as akin to racing full size on a street circuit. There really is no room for mistakes here. As Ollie Jeffries then, with the white front and the yellow tail to his X-Ray, is under pressure and already lapped traffic. That looked like a retirement to me. As one of the back markers anyway, not playing a part at the moment. Our leader is Alex Hagberg. Oh, and Jeffries makes the mistake, and exactly what I was talking about. You just can't afford to do that. And immediately he's under pressure again. And through goes Levanen, Juho Levanen into third position on the Associated. Oh, one mistake leads to two mistakes, leads to two positions lost for Ollie Jeffries. Just what we were talking about, get that rhythm right. But when the rhythm is broken, you've got to take a breath, let the adrenaline die down and not trying to make it up. He was battling, scrapping with Morbers, trying to hold on after that first mistake, and it led to a second. 11 and third position now for the Finn. And just look at how that car is tracking. That's very nice indeed. Not too much understeer. The car going exactly where he wants to point it. And you've got to think of this, instead of straight lines that you and I can see, the drivers are thinking as a serpentine run through the corners. They're not seeing those straight lines. If you see the straight lines, you tend to want to turn in too much and make everything 90 degrees. If you look here, they are weaving their way through. Look, beautiful there from Levanen. And through he goes past another driver with an issue. That was Alex Andersson, the Swede, in the purple pink car. Now there's our leader, pure white for Alex Hagberg, winner of the last two European Championships in a row. So going for three in a row. Italy, wasn't it, a couple of years ago, and last year right here in Slovakia. He's got traffic now. This is Mark Stiles, not having a great run for him. About to go a lap down on the leader, and oh, beautiful, just breathed out of that corner. Didn't slow himself down, so therefore compromising his race. Certainly barely slowed the leader at all as Hagberg goes through unmolested. Brilliant stuff from both drivers, and that does show the experience and skill of Mark Stiles as well, who started down in 8th position. I'm still having to get used to Alex not being on a green body, but he is out of sight at the moment. Can't even see second place. So it is down to him now to keep this rhythm going that he has found. It's a thing of beauty to watch, isn't it? And very hot favourite for this championship. Qualified well, put himself on pole, and has done exactly what we might expect him to do in his quest for a hat-trick of this event. Brought to you by X-Ray, Zen Racing and Montec. Now let's find second place. No, that's Jeffries in third. So where's our second place driver? But Jeffries is recovered now to third position. And he is back in that groove. Giving the walls a bit of a wider berth, isn't he, than he was earlier on. So Ollie Jeffries started in second. He'll not be happy with his performance. And there's Morbers in second there with the yellow into orange. It might just be closing down on Hagberg a little bit, but I'm sure that's Alex just easing his pace. Yes, he is closing down on him, no doubt. Just check the times. And Morbers coming through from third position, the German on the CRC. The only CRC in the top four. And the three all X-rays. And he's got Mark Stiles to go by here, which he does. And again, Mark showing his class. Now, let's nip back to the leader. Time beginning to tick away. This one and maybe one more. As Alex Anderson goes another lap down. It is literally just waiting for time to elapse, and it has done. And Alex Hagberg wins the first of the finals. Morbers and Jeffries in second and third, Vogel in fourth position. X-Ray, Zen Racing and Montec coverage of the 112th EFRA European Championship is underway for the second of the runs to the championship crown, and Hagberg has the easiest job and the easiest bit of calculation for me, because that white car wins it. He is a 3 consecutive time champion, and he's got a bit more pressure this time from Ollie Jeffries at the start of the race, but Jeffries again making an early mistake, and that's allowed Hagberg to pull away. And I think there was a little shunt behind there, and Jeffries has disappeared, because that's Morbers in second, Levenon in the blue and white is in third, Mark Stiles in fourth, Jeffries down to fifth position. So just thought I'd caught that on the corner of the frame there, and that's exactly the sort of advantage you do not want to hand to Alex Hagberg. He's off and running. Almost seems like he's got a cruise control as Levenon tries for second position. Oh, now is he going to be allowed to keep that? Oh, that was side-by-side contact, but in fairness, there had been a mistake by the second place driver. He's being called, I think, yes. Stop go for Levenon. So that blue and white machine, the Associated, will have to pull in, and there you see he does. Elias Morbers passed, which is the driver that was disadvantaged. Now, Morbers makes a mistake there in the yellow and orange, but then diving up the inside, well, there wasn't really enough room there. Let's have another look at this. There's the mistake by Morbers. Up the inside, was he alongside? I'm not sure. Very, very close though. From that second angle, he looked much further alongside than I thought to start with. Now, there's the leader, Hagberg. Wow, that's Levenon in the blue and white, just ahead of him. So this is about to put a lap on one of the favourites. Somebody was parked up on the side there as well, up against the wall. I think it was one of the leaders though. This is another great drive by Alexander Hagberg on the X-Ray. There's Ollie Jeffries. Second place for Jeffries. There's been Rather too many mistakes, I think, by the competitors too. Hagberg has just gone about his business, and really, if you want to put pressure on somebody of the talent and experience of Hagberg, you cannot allow him to get away. And what you can't be doing is hitting the walls, and I'm afraid that's what his competition's done today. Take nothing away from the Swedish driver who's leading, because he has been wheel perfect right through this meeting. But frankly, the competition that we had expected just has not materialised in these first two finals. And for me, he's cruising to a third consecutive European Championship victory. And there he is now. Doesn't need to pass these lap cars. Just watching his lap times, he has eased off a little bit, but only a tiny bit. And look, it's as if he's in a practice session. He's just gone into that mode that he does. The focus is there, and he is ticking off the laps and watching the clock tick down. No competition at all, no pressure. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not putting pressure on himself, and there's the pressure of the situation, of course, but he's not having to race anyone, is he? He's put himself at the pole, and he's pulled away from this European Championship field. I've done it in a way that must be completely demoralising to the rest of the field. There is no stopping him when he's in this mood, and that is why he is so good, and that is why he's won this event so many times. So Hagberg then already wondering how he's going to get the trophy home, I think, as he comes through. Hagberg now resident in the UK. He's moved to right in the centre of England at Luton. His partner, his girlfriend, lives in that part of the country. So clearly very happy in his personal life and in his racing life. He is very settled indeed here at the EFRA European Championship for the 112th, X-Ray Zen Racing and Montec. And there's his dad on the track. Bossy Hagberg, loving it.
Well, we're all happy. Great to see Alex's domination continue, and we can hear this from him too after this.
Build and drive the ultimate off-road vehicle, the Hummer H1 remote control car. Go to modelspace.com now to discover how you can build and drive your very own all-terrain vehicle. Get your high-quality parts and step-by-step instructions to build the nitro-powered, radio control-ready Hummer H1. This iconic car is not available in stores, so go to modelspace.com now and get your exclusive offer today.
You've won 4 European Championships in 25 months after not winning ever. So what changed? What's different? How come Alex Hagberg now is unbeatable in electronics in Europe?
It's hard to say. I mean, I work really hard, I race a lot, and I try to develop my racing program every time. So it's really hard work behind it.
In a way, though, it seemed that your rivals kind of gave you that one because you got away with a good start, and then they all kind of imploded. When you get that sort of lead, does that make it easier or more difficult?
Honestly, it makes it more difficult because you have nobody to pace yourself with, and you kind of drive too cautiously sometimes, and that can catch you out to make mistakes. So
the second win for Alexander Hagberg here in the final confirms him as taking the hat-trick of EFRA European Championships in the 1/12 scale. Jeffries in that heat second from Stadler. They'll play off for vice championship status in the third final. So as tradition dictates, the man who has won the first two can't be beaten. He's not there. So no Alex Hagberg. Effectively, Ollie Jeffries with the white and yellow was on pole, and he's slipping away straight away from Marcus Mobus. Lebanon in third position, already got past Stadler. Now, Jeffries now has to do a Hagberg, doesn't he? And just use that clear track ahead of him to break the toe and the will of those chasing him. Can't afford the little mistakes that we've seen from Ollie in the first two of the final heats. Did manage to get a bit of pressure on Hagberg in the second running. Couldn't keep it on long enough to affect the Swedes' concentration. That's all in the past. The championship has gone but the status of being runner-up in the championship all still very much to play for. Remember, the best 2 results of your 3 runs in the final is what determines your finishing championship position. Ollie Jeffries on the X-ray at the moment, if it was to end like this, would be second in the championship. However, there's many a slip between the slightly smaller cup and the checkered flag. And also Alexander Anderson not too far ahead of these two, has already had problems in that very brightly coloured machine. The Swede hasn't been really on form in the finals. This circuit providing fantastic racing, but it is very, very technical. You see Jeffries just squirting on and off the throttle there. You can see the slightly more jerky movements of his X-Ray. He knows he's got some passing to do, and he's managed to achieve that now. He's feeling the pressure. Tend to tense up on the controls, just like any form of driving. When you do that, you get a little more jerky. The fluid movements of the car, whether it's full size or scale racing, just tend to disappear. It all gets a little bit more hectic, but it looks like Jeffries has calmed himself down again. That's good driving. Now, next car to be lapped is Juho Levonen on the Associated. So, I have to say, I haven't seen his problems. He let him through, decent driving. So Levonen really out of the battle. Oh, hello. Now, I'm not sure Ollie Jeffries will be overly pleased with Levonen speeding back up again here. Absolutely fine. He's let the leader through as he is obliged to do, but Levonen will be, I think, unhappy at his performance in these finals. I did expect him to be one of the guys at the front of the field. Now, drivers will tell you on both sides of this story, if you are the leader and you lap someone and then they start hanging around behind you, that's tremendously irritating. However, you can clearly see also the frustration of Levonen, because he feels he's got a quicker car than the leader, and he probably has at this stage, and he's now relying on Ollie Jeffries in that white and yellow machine to drag him effectively, or to allow him to get closer to the cars that he's racing, which are those 2 cars ahead of him. Now, don't forget, those 2 cars, Mark Stiles, I think, at the head of them, has to let the leader through, but doesn't have to let the other one through, and didn't. That's fine. That was a battle for position, as Stiles lets the leader through. Now, Levenen's dropped away from the back of Ollie Jeffries, so he'll be rather breathing a sigh of relief. I feel the frustration building from Juho Levonen on the Associated. Not really been his finals day, but at the moment the leader has dealt with that traffic a little better than second place. Mober's now about to go past Stiles and does through, so goes through there, and now we'll try and just bridge that gap that's opened up in the favour of Ollie Jeffries. Jeffries has got to not let his concentration go back to that yellow and orange machine. We've seen here that passing is very difficult. There's Morbers in second. Won the stock championship at this venue earlier this weekend. It's basically the same chassis, same cars. They look very similar, just slightly less powerful motors. Some cars are a little less quick over the ground. Some might say a little easier to drive. This is the top class, and it is now beginning to get very interesting at the head of the field, as Ollie Jeffries, who's been pacing himself nicely, now has Morbers. He's got to be in his eye line now, and he knows he's there, and a little bit of a slide there from Jeffries as he gets on the throttle a bit early, but Morbers makes a mistake just when he'd fought himself back to the back of the leader, battled his way up and paced himself perfectly, and now has lap traffic between himself and the leader. The leader is taken out for a moment, but recovers very quickly. Ollie Jeffries will be thanking his lucky stars there. Time almost elapsing. Probably 2 more laps to go. Alex Anderson about to go another lap down, or will he? Jeffries pacing himself again, doesn't want to put himself in danger. This is Ollie Jeffries going to second in the championship by my rudimentary arithmetic. If he can hold on to this, Mobus charging back to him, but time is against the man in second place, and the German cannot beat the clock, and don't think he's going to beat Ollie Jeffries either, as Jeffries has timed it to perfection and comes through to win the third and final heat ahead of Mobus in second, and that confirms then Ollie Jeffries in second position in the championship. Alexander Hagberg, our champion again, courtesy of 2 wins, a second and a win for Ollie Jeffries in second. Marcus Mobus makes up the podium, then Dennis Stadler, Stiles, Vogel, Sieber, Levenon, Anderson and Hubo Honeckl is your top 10 in the EFRA European Championships.
Yes, congratulations to Alex and the whole X-Ray team. See you next time, but don't forget, in those intervening lonely weeks, go to www.rcracing.tv for more super action. Go to the OC Model Space for more building models, and of course our YouTube channel for more racing action.